Good afternoon. Today what we're going to do is got to remove the fuel tank out of this 89 300Z. I've been having some trouble with the fuel pump. I got a new fuel pump on order. Should be here tomorrow. What's today? Yeah, it should be here tomorrow or Friday. Try to get it put in this weekend. But right now, I think what we're going to do is we're going to take this tank out and go from there, clean it up, pull the old sending unit out, go ahead and clean it up and get it ready to accept the new pump. What I'm doing is I'm not using the OEM pump. I'm actually went out and bought a Waldo, and it's supposed to be an upgrade for this car, and hopefully that is the case, because the one that is in it I am not happy with. It's an aftermarket that belongs in the Nissan. Again, wasn't real happy with it. So what we're going to do is, first thing, up here where the fuel lid's at, we got to unscrew the collar. It's this little collar here, and it just it hooks on the filler neck and holds the filler neck in place, so when you put fuel in it, it doesn't go anywhere. Pretty much going to walk through the whole thing. This first step is when you're, I'll take you there in a little bit. When you're up in the, you got to get in the back here and make sure that you've unplugged and taken the grommets out of the little plate that covers up the fuel sending unit. And there's two wires. You'll unplug those, kind of roll them up and stuff them in the hole, get the grommets out of the metal plate. That'll help you with that when it's time to pull the tank down. These bolts, I know it's probably metric, but I'm using a 13/16 today, and it'll rattle these off. Not any problem. Come on, fall out. There we go. Once you get all those out, I spend a lot of time. I use a lot of these little bins. Hold everything in them nice and tidy, or at least till you knock them off the workbench. Get this off. Rear disc brakes. This is the style that if you go to change these brakes out, it's got an integrated. It's got an integrated parking brake in it, so it's all integrated into the caliper. Can you see that? Maybe right here. Anyway, it's all integrated in the caliper, and the piston doesn't just push back in with a C-clamp. You got to use a special tool, and it twists back in. We're not getting into that. Just thought I'd throw that out there. Not a real fan of the lighting right now. This is the first time we're doing this, so we're gonna play around a little bit, see what we end up liking, not liking. That's a lot of light. Whew. That's really bright. So anyway, once we're done there, we have to get up in this area. Here, let me just kind of bring it over here real quick. Hopefully we can see. Not very well. There we go. See this this plastic piece runs up, goes up underneath here, runs over to the filler neck. It actually just shields the filler neck from debris from getting tossed up here on the tire. There's a couple screws. There's one here. There's one here. There's a couple that are missing because, well, there's a little rust on this car. So I'll put you back and we'll get that down out of there. I don't know if I can. No, I can't do that. So yeah, so let me get this out of here, and once I get it out, I'll be right back. So I got you up in the wheel well here, so you can get you a little better eyes on this shield. It's missing several of the bolts for it. Somebody else has been in here. I've had it out twice, and I've had to find a couple extra bolts when I did this. So you can do one of two things. You can either use a Phillips bit, or I believe it's a 10mm. I'm going to grab me a 10mm, and if I have one, it's usually the hard part is having a 10mm. There we go. I use a lot of impact stuff. Just makes my world a lot easier. So when that comes off, that bolt hits the ground, comes out, and then you can see that all of the, hopefully you can see that, here's the fill tube. There's a collar right here that kind of holds that all in. This is welded together, so what I'll do now is just take these three off, and then there's a hose. There's a hose up top there. Let me see if I can get you to it. Yeah. Whoopsies. It's moving. How's that happen? Yeah, there's a hose. There's a hose up top here. This clamp, this is your vent hose. So when you put fuel in it, the air actually evaporates or vents out of this tube into the atmosphere. Uh-oh, wrong size. So let's go see if we can find what do we say, 12, 13mm. See which one's which. Oh, too big. So I'm gonna say 12. Nailed it. So we'll just. That was really loud. That one came out. Doing okay over there? Because that shit was really loud. Alright. Those are 10mm. Didn't realize that I had multiple sizes here. I'll have to we'll get a ratchet out for that other one here in a sec. Oh yeah, that's the way they're supposed to come out. Pulls right out. Sorry, couldn't see that, could you? So, right over here, got a bolt here, bolt here. These two are 10mm. These two right here have a head on them that are 12mm. And then take it, throw it over there in the container. What I'll do from there, because it wasn't cooperating and it was really crazy loud, we'll get the old ratchet after it. Maybe. That was really tight. I don't know why. Oh, this one is not welded on. Okay. So, you notice it's starting to fall down out of there. Kind of long-winded. There it is. So yeah, there's that piece. So the filler neck just lays in there, and it just helps protect and hold the filler neck in place. So put that over here on the workbench and toss the bolt in, and I'm gonna turn you off and then get you repositioned here, because well, this definitely is not a high-tech facility. We'll go ahead and get you up underneath the car, get the car lifted up some more. We'll get the car lifted up some more, and once we get it all the way lifted up, I'll go ahead and do the fuel lines and get ready to pull the straps, because once the fuel line and the straps are loose, this thing's on the ground. So yeah, give me just a minute, we'll be right back. All right, well, I got you kind of resituated here so you're up underneath the car with me. Right here's part of the straps. This strap holds on here. This one wraps up and comes up to the frame here. Can you see that? Let me back that up just a tick. There you go. So yeah, so right here's the one strap, and then again, this one's the other one. These are, I've had these lubricated, and again, I've had these off one other time. And on back here a little bit, let me see. It's gonna be the easiest angle for y'all to see that. There we go. Just heads up, this car's set for about 8 years. Didn't move. I've been piecing it together and kind of getting it back on the road for about 6 or 8 months now, and I've been having fuel issues. But anyway, these are your metal fuel lines that go, I think one of these is, what we got here? This one is fuel, this one is return, and this one is a vent. It goes to a little canister right here. What we'll do is we'll take these 1/4-inch clamps off. Once those come off, we'll pop those off the hoses, and they will scooch back that way. They'll go that way. Right here at the frame, there's a little pocket that those set in. So yeah, so if you look up or you kind of start meandering around while I flat my pie hole, you're going to see some rust and some oxidation and stuff like that I haven't got to fix yet. The rear diff mounts, I want to get those apart, clean those up, repaint them, get them so they stop doing what they're doing. Can you see this over here? Nope. Cool. Anyway, so we've got the sway bar links are trash. I need to get those fixed. All the bushings for the control arms need a lot of help. So yeah, so let's go ahead and get started on those. Grab me a 1/4-inch. Grab me a 1/4-inch nut driver, or as I usually use, I got a nut driver with a 1/4-inch ratchet on it. And I just go ahead and start pulling these apart. Let me scoot over here because there we go. Just undo these. You just unscrew. Just let that slide down so you don't lose it, so it doesn't fall off or go anywhere. Same thing with this one. Is it loose? Yep. It needs to be a little more loose. There it is. Put that. All right, go one or the other. There we go. Let's take her on up that way then. So yeah, so it's ready to come off. There it is. Then we got this one here. This is the vent, and the vent we're going to take off here because this is going to stay on the car. This line right here, this hose, and this. See it? Oh, maybe. Anyway, I hope this works out. Go ahead and pop that off. This right here will pull right off. Hopefully there's no fuel in it. The other ones typically have fuel in them, and it stinks as usual because fuel stinks, especially when it's settled for a while. You can see it starting to leak a little bit already. Yep, there it goes. That'll be okay. That's just fine. So that's the supply line for the pump. And then this is the vent. I'm sorry, this is the return. If I can get it to, decided to get tight on there. Wonder why. Nope, it's not coming off like I want it to. All right, well, give me just a moment. Let me run and go get something. All right, I'm back. Wish I had some short interlude music there for you, but well, again, this is really super low tech, so we're just gonna go with what we got. Oh, there we go. I think she just started to come loose. Sometimes these can be a booger. Break them loose, get them twisting. Oh, here she's gurgling. So she's probably got fuel in her. See what happens when she comes off. Oh yeah. A little more fuel on the floor. There it is. That's that. So yeah, let me double check a few things and I'll come back. So what I'm gonna double check is I got this one undone, this one's undone, that one is. I did forget one, and as I said earlier, the one that is on the vent for the fuel tube there. It's I gotta get that one. All right. Oh, right there. So just spun you all the way around there. Hope you didn't get dizzy. So let me see if I can reach up there without. This one's not all that tight. That one's and it's a 5/16, 5/16 or an 8mm. I got both of those right here, so just gonna pop that out of there. Find my screwdriver. And of course, I've already knocked it off the workbench. Only just a couple minutes into this, and I've already knocked it off the workbench. Let's go ahead and flip this around so we can get. Oh hell, that ain't even tight. So that's on me. So I didn't even tighten it the other day. Last time I was in here, where did it pop off? 1989 rust. That's tasty. All right, let's back you up a little bit because I'm gonna bring the car down. Set this. So what we can do about setting this up a little bit. All right, stand by. Coming down. It's an interesting noise. All right. Let's see where we end up. Oh, there we go. It's right there. So again, there we go. See it coming off there. There it is. We'll take this off. Then, so this pipe right here. You know, look at my ugly mug. So this pipe right here comes through the frame, and you got to push that on through. But what we'll do is we'll get the tank down. Oh hell! Let's see if she goes all the way in there. There she goes. Oh, she's poking out right there. Backside. There she went. See, right on through there. So I'm gonna say with that, at this point, what I'm gonna do again, we're going to take a quick intermission. I will get this thing back up in the air, get the workbench set up so when the tank is ready, it'll fall right down on my hands, hopefully not on my head, and we will get her put on the workbench. And once that's all set up, we'll get the other little doodad out that I got to see how that works, so we can look down on top, and I'll take the fuel sending unit and fuel pump out. So I shall return. All right, we're coming into the home stretch now. We, again, safety first, because this one actually has some fuel in it. I think it's got about a quarter, half tank. I also got it running on a secondary fuel pump that I wired 12 volts and just hooked in the line up by the engine. And once I did that, I was able to move it into the shop, get all that taken care of. That's a horrible shadow. There we go. You can see my ugly mug from here. Once I got it in here, I was able to start this project. And I can still technically go up front and start it and move it around if I need to. So we're gonna keep that on there until we get this fixed, until this comes in. But again, put in my screw jack. I'm gonna take this one out, take this one right here off. And once those are off, that tank is ready to come down. What I'm gonna do is, once that's ready, just so you have a heads up, I'm not gonna bore you with me grunting and trying to get this thing down out of here by myself. I'll have everything set up when I come back and have it on the workbench and ready to start that. But since you're here, again, I use the cordless impacts a lot. They just work out a lot better. I'm pretty happy with them. Saves me saves me from ratcheting into my wrench and my wrist and whatnot. Unscrew that. That'll come right down. Maybe. Where's that at? Is it not out of there? Nope, not out of there yet. So when I got this, again, this car's had been sitting for quite some time when I got it. Kind of one of my, I don't know what it is about these 300s that I'm really a fan of them. I'm about 6 foot, 300 pound, and surprisingly enough, I can roll in and out of them with the best of them. All right. All right, she's 100% loose. Take that off. There's the bolt that came out of there. What I'm going to do is, I think we'll come back here and see if I can get these out without the tank. Well, with the tank in the way. That way maybe if I can get them to twist for me, and there we go. See, they just come right out. They have a little hook on them, and once these are out of my way, then I can, there's one right here. Once these are out of my way, then I can get to the workbench a lot quicker and a lot easier. I don't know if there's a trick to these, or last time I just bent the hell out until they came out and then put them back the way they were. Oh, there we go. Maybe we're getting somewhere. There we go. Nice. Yeah, there's this one. Again, same style. Remember, the one with the 90-degree goes on the right side of the vehicle, and the one with the pocket on it goes on the left side of the vehicle. And I tell you, this is the second or third Z31 tank I've had out. They all pretty much come out the same. No, it's probably one of the easiest things I've done in my driveway. Just had to get the rear end of the car way up, and yeah. What I'm going to do is I'll catch back up with you. I'll get everything set up on my workbench. It's just right there. Get everything set up, and then we'll start taking the fuel pump out. All right, catch up. Well, it looks like we're here in the home stretch. Got everything set up. Here's my Bronco. Working on that too. That'll be later. We'll see how this one goes. See how some work goes on that. I'll post a couple things. See if I get any interest. It is really kind of hard sometimes to find some Z31 stuff online. And once you find it, sometimes it just doesn't have a lot of information. They buzz through everything so quick. What I got here, if you'll notice, most of your bolts for the top of the fuel pump are like this. They have the 8mm or 5/16 with the Phillips head on them. When I originally got this, there was 2 bolts broke off in it. So what I did is I went and found some metric little machine screws. I drilled out the broken ones, and then what I did is once I drilled those out, I went ahead and tapped them for the right size. And instead of just putting a mismatch of these bolts in, or these machine screws and these machine screws, I just said, hell with it, we're gonna make them all the same. So you don't have to keep switching back each time you go to take out a bolt. They're all the same. They all come out with the same Phillips head bit. You don't have to keep hunting for a Phillips head bit or a 8mm or 10mm. It's all in one. So like I said, this is going to be pretty much the end of this. Once I get this out, I'm really kind of trying to, maybe that'll get my, So yeah, so I'm trying to get this piece here out. And again, got the stainless washers, the stainless hardware here. That way, being up underneath the car, I don't plan on driving it in the salt, but still, it's going to get corrosion, and God only knows. Who knows what you run through on the road? Where's my little? There it is. Like I said, still put in some of the little tools that I've used, and then all the hardware goes in here. Keeps it nice and tidy. When you do, I got a whole load of projects. I got a chainsaw sitting over here. I got a drill press I'm working on, a tire for my Velke for my mower. I got that monster over there that I'm working on. So with as much stuff as I got going on, I try to keep all the nuts and bolts for each project together. Let me go, you can find a rag. So when I go to pull this pump out, I have some place to lay it. A battery pack here. We'll scoot this over a little bit, and that way I have this corner. Right here to put it. It's not getting fuel absolutely all over the place. So again, here's the cord or the wiring harness for the pump. This is the wiring harness for the sending unit. I believe typically there is a white plug on these for the sending unit, and the fuel is this blue. So again, just pulls right on out of there. As you can tell, that pump is fairly new. Hope you can't see it very well, can you? See if we can fix that. So new at this. So yeah, you can see that the pump is fairly new. I will tell you that pump's got about 7 miles on it. It decided not to pump fuel, and I actually mistakenly left the fuel pump hooked up when I disconnected it in the engine compartment from the filter, and I put another filter in line, and then put another or an external fuel pump, and it didn't pump any fuel out of the fuel filter. So I'm gonna venture to say this is bad. I can hear it running, but she ain't pumping. So there she is. Here in a little bit, we'll go ahead and get this torn apart. Like I said, I want to get it out, get it all figured out, kind of tidied up. Wait for my wait for my other fuel pump to show up. Here's the neck. Here's the filler neck, comes out with it. Nothing stands in your way to get this out with it. If you don't have fuel in it, of course it's easier to take off. This one's got a little bit of fuel in it. Well, not much at all, but it's got some. So if I take the filler neck off down here where it hooks up, it'll pour fuel out onto the floor. We all know how expensive that stuff is right now. So anyway, let me get kind of rearranged here. I think I'm running out of battery too. So let me get kind of rearranged, get this off the workbench, get this towel laid out and the fuel pump laid out, and we can start disassembling this and being ready for the new fuel pump when it comes in. Again, the new fuel pump's not going to look like this. This is the OEM Nissan replacement. Again, this is the second fuel pump I've had in it. I'm not happy with this brand. You know what? I'm not even going to tell you what brand it is. If there's a private message, you can private message me and I'll take care of that. But anyway, we're going to retrofit another fuel pump in here, and you know what? See what happens. These cars run great. They drive great. They get really good gas mileage. They're snappy. They're not high on horsepower. They're, you know, the 3-liter V6, 140 horse. I believe the turbocharged version of these are only 220, maybe. But again, they don't weigh a whole lot, and they get down the road and they look really good. So we'll catch up here in a little bit. Maybe dinner time, and maybe out here again, may not be. You may see me in totally different clothes, maybe shaving. We'll see what happens. Y'all have a wonderful night. Take care of yourselves. Peace.